Okay, today we're going to make a Jack Daniel's mug. Kind of horrible lighting. And on the other side, move it down, there we go. Oh, maybe, I don't know. You just get the idea. And we're going to wood grain it. For this one, I use caramel, however you pronounce it. I won't hold it against you if you don't hold it against me. And regular, cheap, made in China. Yeah, China. Paintbrush. Long swipes from top to bottom. And go back over it to get the streaking for wood, or the grain in the wood. I don't know how well you can see that. And the boring part. Again, these videos are mainly done so that my children and my grandchildren will get to see me after I've left this world, if they choose to. And they can pick up some of the habits and make cups or canvases or whatever they want to do, since I have 3 granddaughters at the moment. Hopefully one of them will be crafty. Well, hopefully all 3 of them will be, but at least one to take over my hobby and sharing it with me while I am still here. I don't necessarily worry about the bottom until the end. And the good thing about alcohol inks is if you mess up, all you have to do is take it to your kitchen sink, spray it with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. I recommend at least 70%, and start over. Everyone's take is different, and if you're doing a bigger cup or something that doesn't have two-sided, you can do knots and different types of colors and striations in the wood. But since I'm doing a two-sided cup, there's no need to waste the ink or the time doing knots or deep seams, since they'll be underneath vinyl. I will do 2 coats of this just to give it a slightly deeper grainy look. And just, like I said, up and down, slow, easy wood grain effect. And the reason why you go back over it is as the alcohol's drying, that's what gives you the brush strokes to give you the grain look. Otherwise you end up with this smooth, I don't have anything here, but I can potentially show you if I come over here. That'll stay like that if you don't go back over it. With the drying of the alcohol, since it does evaporate so quickly, going back over it allows the wood streaks from the brush, wood grain from the brush, and like I said, you see the difference. I don't know, there we go. You can't go wrong. Wood grain is easy, and everybody's take on wood is different. I've made some that I've stripped because I was told it looked like wood paneling, and that was not the effect I was going for. So you strip it and you try again. And the ink is, I would say, fairly cheap where I'm at. I'm in Pennsylvania, and for the most part it's like $3.19 a bottle. And if you have coupons for 50% off at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, you get it even cheaper. And with wood, the Hobby Lobby sells the wood pack, I'm gonna call it, and that is the latte, teak, and I think espresso. And you get 3 colors that are all basically used in the wood grain effects, and they last a very long time. I have done I'm gonna say 20 or 30 of these cups and bigger, and I'm not even halfway through the bottle yet. And for the handle, I found the same method goes. Just do your coating essentially, and as you see it starting to dry out, when it starts to dry out, then you start going back over the done areas so you get the brush strokes, aka the wood grain. And thick bristled brushes, I think, firm, not thick, are an easier wood grain. If your bristles are too soft and mushy, then I think you struggle more. At least that's my opinion. Okay, and see, I let it get too dry, so it's not doing anything. So wet it down and go back over it, and make sure you get all your white. Like, I just found a white spot. I don't have my glasses on, so that would explain a lot of it. And on the handle, because it is the handle, you can play around and push the inks so that you do have some streaking. See if I can, there we go. And come down and I don't know if y'all can see that. Oops. And just keep playing with it, and since wood is never perfect in its grain, every wood grain I've ever had to cut, and since we're doing construction here, I've had to cut out quite a lot this past week. It's all uneven, and 2x4s, granted, are cut in a mill on a machine, so you don't know where they're grabbing it, but none of them are ever equal in the graining. So, but there you go. There was a couple seconds spent on the top of the handle, and on the bottom still needs to be done, obvious, inside, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to start on this side, and you see how it, well, hopefully you guys can see it. And just it gives it a slightly woodsier, darker coloring. Like I said, it's to each their own. I have 6 of these cups that I've got to get done. So I figured rather than sit here and do them by myself, I would hopefully help out someone else that is struggling with wood grain. It is very forgiving, and I've seen on the different groups that I belong to, a lot of people posting their wood grain that they don't like, but it looks beautiful. I mean, everybody's visions are different. That's what's nice about crafting. You can do your thing, and well, you think you messed up and it doesn't look good, somebody else looks at it and falls in love. That trash treasure thing, I don't remember how it goes, but you can Google it. I Google everything because at my age, what I do Google, I forget 20 minutes later, so. And again, I don't worry about any of the gathering up here, simply because I'm going to be putting it, that area is going to go under vinyl with the bands, so you can leave the little, yikes, little half spots there or brush strokes there. And just, again, keep going at it. And since I'm at the halfway point almost, if I wanted to, I can try and make a knot in the midway section, but one knot there may look out of place. I don't know. I've never tried it, and I have, well, I have this guy, and then this one that's waiting for epoxy, and this one that's waiting for the vinyl. And like I said, I thought I'd just start a video and help somebody else out with some wood grain. Alcohol ink does stain your clothing and your underneath your fingernails. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and I'm hoping I don't get any on since I forgot to put gloves on. I don't want them to think I'm, you know, dirty or ill, because it tends to yellow underneath the fingernails. I also don't wear my jewelry when I'm crafting, so you'll never see my rings on. And some people may like the smooth blended wood, I guess you'd say, look, without the brush strokes. It doesn't have the grainy look, and it just doesn't look woodsy, or however you want to call that. It doesn't look like real wood to me. But the before, well, before was white actually, but the first coat and the second coat, it just adds an extra little layer of color and grain of the wood. And if you find that you're technically out of space that you are trying to cover and you still have ink on your brush, just keep going. I'm gonna have to get rid of that. Just keep going over your area and the alcohol will evaporate from the ink and you'll be good. And that would be that. Of course, we're not done yet because you always got to do the butt. Can't have Bertocuses running around because in my cups, I do not believe in my personal opinion is I don't want to put my label or sticker on my cup. Just they're buying it, they know where they bought it. If they forget, they can look online. If they don't find me, they'll find somebody else. I'm okay with it. I don't need that, hey, look at me type advertisement. I'm okay with it. I do this for fun. Well, I started doing it for fun. When I get overwhelmed with orders, it's no longer a fun craft and hobby and way to relax and let some expressive art out. It becomes a tedious pain, especially with some difficult customers. But you just do it and move on. And if you can't do an order, then do like I do and send them to other people. There's always someone out there that will take extra work. And I don't have the steadiest hands or the best eyes. So when I have a customer that wants me to do a very difficult cup for me, I will happily pass it on rather than give them something that I would think would be subpar. And since I'm OCD and a perfectionist, I can't put something out if it doesn't look right, and I will stay up and keep going at it and keep going at it until I find it's okay, and I end up getting frustrated with myself, and I'd rather just pass it off to somebody else who has no problem doing it. Some people are quick and easy and pick it up without a problem, and other people just, they don't get the wood grain, they don't get this, they don't get that, and that's okay because they get the ombre effect down in the first shot, and that's a difficult one. I think I've managed that one pretty good, but it took a while. The V cups, I'm still trying them. They're not my friend. Straight lines, You know, if you see, I mussed up a little bit there, but that's okay because it'll be under the vinyl. And if you see, I'm okay with that because it'll be under the vinyl. And wanting a little bit more attention though on the butt. It's not looking good enough for me, or it's not appealing to me. So there we go. And I got another run. You know what? One more swipe. I don't like runs. I think they show and end up making it look not so great. So I will go over my runs. I would call that good enough for me. Like I said, none of them are ever perfect. So my butt looks I could put a knot in it, but then I'd have to do it with all the others, and they're all just plain, so. And this one will now sit for at least 24 hours so that the inks have a chance to settle and dry, and then I will tomorrow at some point, hopefully, I will put I always stick them inside the cups just so I don't lose them. I will put the decals on and get them under epoxy. But I have this guy. That is ready for his decals and his striping, which I take for the striping, I don't know how wide I made them. I'm gonna say maybe a ½ inch. I just take a 12 by 12 sheet of permanent Oracle 651 vinyl and just do out a bunch of stripes, and it works out. You don't need any transfer tape. Just pull them and use your arm as the static holder. I don't know if y'all can see that. There we go. And arrange this so you have your little lippy thing. And hold your cup steady. I usually start at the seam. Try and get it as straight as possible. And where did I have that one? I had that one there. Okay. And just come around, and I really should have put my glasses on, guys. Yikes. Just go around. I do try and keep these kid friendly, but occasionally I will slip up if I have a big boo-boo. Like up in my craft room, I dropped a medicine cup full of epoxy onto the carpet. It was not a good day. And thank God I was not recording at the time, because it wasn't pretty. And you know what? I'm gonna stick this on there so I don't lose it, and I'm gonna put my eyes on, because well, you see how thick they are, people? I'm blind. But bring it, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see. Bring it over, line it up so that, well, for me, I have to line it up because, well, like I said, I'm anal OCD. And give it a light slice. That wasn't enough. Back in with another light slice. There we go. There's one seam, and with these little wrinkles that are there, the best thing that I found is heat. And if you use Cricut vinyl, it's even better, because Cricut vinyl, for some reason, it loves to shrink in the heat. I don't know what it is about it, but it makes some cups, like my full vinyl wraps, it makes them so much easier, because it just, a little bit of heat and the wrinkles gone, the bubbles gone, it just shrinks right down. And there I have a little air bubble that's not going away, so grab my pin pen, and compliments of having my eyes on, I can see that bubble. And there we go. It's gone. I do have a little wrinkle there that I'm not happy with. We'll try and see if the Oracle 651 vinyl shrinks. How about that? We'll all learn something tonight. Gonna be a little bit of noise. I'd say the answer to that is no. Let's see if we can mandle it out of there. Yes, we can. Okay. Ooh, cup's a little warm. There's another air bubble. And we'll clean all this up at the end with a little alcohol wipe, and you're good to go. Grab your second. Do I get it in the light so I can see it? And again, just let it go. It'll grab onto you. And just, I like to drape it down a little bit, and it stays there, not flopping into anything that it shouldn't. And on the bottom, I have about the same amount of gap. So again, try and line it up. That one's actually up against, and that one is up against. So this one is going to go a little bit higher. Just because, like I said, this is a set of 6. That is in order, so I have to try and keep them somewhat in line with each other. And it does help if you keep it tight as you're pulling, because vinyl stretches nicely. Excuse me. You'll also find that if you don't leave your cup sit for the 24 hours, at a minimum, I think, is 24 hours. If you have to pull your vinyl up to readjust it like that, it will pull the alcohol ink right up, and you'll have that, what I would call a defect. But again, like I said, I'm a perfectionist, so to me that would not, I couldn't allow that to be shipped like that. But again, that's me. Y'all should never, ever, ever cut with your fingers like that close. I don't know why I just did that. Because I want another boo-boo. Yes. I'm done with that. Now we're going to come down and just push it into play. Into place. I have 2 little wrinkles there. I'm going to try and make smaller. Hot cup, hot cup. Ouch. Okay, so don't do like I do. Use something on your fingers, a towel, or I do have towels next to me. I just didn't think to grab them. But there you go. There's the bottom of the barrel. That one just lifted right back up. You little dirtbag. Sometimes they require a little bit more persuasion. There we go. And I don't know about anybody else and how they do theirs, but when I'm done, when I get it to this stage, I will take it out back and I will seal with clear matte Rust-Oleum paint spray, whatever you want to call it. I will seal it. I have a spot of alcohol that got on there. Y'all see that? I'm gonna have to touch that up. But I will take it and I will seal this prior to putting the epoxy on, just to make sure that the epoxy does not get underneath any of the vinyl anywhere, because, well, I don't want my vinyl to lift and cause me to have to strip a cup, because that's never any fun at all. And for me, I use my little silicone stir sticks as my cup props. Line it up so that it's as flat as can be. Why isn't it sitting? There we go. Nope. This one. And just for references, I need more stir sticks. I'm not gonna be up in my craft room, aren't they? Pipettes. There we go. We got some more stir sticks. And again, because this is in order, I like to line them up so that they're not getting something wonky. And I already have them separated, so to speak. Let me on my fingers. Use the transfer tape to come up and line it up as best as you can. Don't worry about your transfer tape sticking. Just worry about where your vinyl's going. Like over here, you see it's still up. Just make sure the vinyl goes down straight. It's okay if your transfer tape wrinkles in the middle. As long as your vinyl is down, transfer tape is not a problem. Peel it off, and you've got a half. And just keep going. And I put my roll away. Yes, I did. Okay, I don't throw my transfer tape away. I will hold on to it because it will work until it's pretty much half dead. And rub this one down. And again, my cup fell over. And because these cups have that bloated belly, I don't know what else to call it. It's got the bulge. There we go, bulge. Because it has that, they will oftentimes have that little gap. I'll show you in a second. Where I don't know. To me, it's unavoidable. Somebody else may have a way of doing it, but it's got the bloat, and it just, although that doesn't look very straight to me. I think my van is just up and wonky. I will not do it now, but I will probably take that off and redo it. But we're going to flip to the Jack Daniel's side. Line these guys up. And pretty much, what is that, rinse and repeat? Rub it down, pull it off, and go for round 2. And notice that my cup is a little lower than that one. The handles. So I'm going to try and keep them as close to each other as possible. No two cups will ever look the same. Go down the middle and then work your way out. Make sure all your letters get pressed. Because the vinyl, or the transfer tape, that can ripple all at once. It's not going to affect the design. Getting your lettering down, that's what counts. There we go. And you pull it gently. Don't pull it like I do. I have pulled off numerous designs that way. And had to redo them, but I'm not a patient person, so these guys are not working for me tonight. I don't know what's going on. Rub them down, pull them off, try and realign. And again, my quality whiskey, because of the bulge in the belly, it's gonna look off. I've yet to figure that out at some point. There we go. Somebody has the clue on how to do it, by all means. I am still learning, just like, you guys are here to watch and see how I do it. I watch YouTube videos all the time trying to figure out the how and the why, and just seeing how other people do some things, because there's some stuff out there that I watch that I would never even attempt. But it doesn't stop me from watching it, and I buy cups from the dollar store, and I will try anything. Doesn't mean it's going to ever leave my house or my, my site, because some things, they really don't come out. And I admit I have a strip bucket. I'm okay with it. It's not often that I strip, that I strip cups. But I do it. Everybody does. If they say they don't, well, they're either very good or they're lying. But that would be it. And on my next video, which I'm hoping it won't be so long in between the next one, I will show you how I take, oh, I still gotta do this one. Guys, really? These cups are never ending. How I epoxy. This one still needs a light sand and a second coat. It's got a little blurbs, because I don't know if you can see them in the camera. I don't know if it's picking it up or not, but I won't ship them like that. That just won't happen. So this one still needs another sanding and another coat, but I will show you how to epoxy the handle that everybody always has trouble with. So far, I've not had any issues, but that will be on the next video. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, if you guys know how to stop that little bulge difference, drop me a line. I'd love to know, because I'm struggling with that still. Subscribe, like, comment. I'll see you on the next video. Have a good night.